Welcome to a totally new idea of, at least my part, I don't know if this is like a thing amongst the YouTube, but this is going to be called Coffee with Charlie. Yeah. And it's gonna be all about me learning about coffee, pour overs, maybe later in the future investing in like an espresso maker and like different variations of coffee and whatnot. But I want to log my progress with making coffee and my experiences, my failures, my successes, just so I can learn more and hopefully entertain someone who is watching. But I'm really pumped about this. This is going to be the very first video, as you guys can see. And right now, I'm going to take you guys through how I make my pour overs and kind of where I bought my setup from and just kind of the details in my groove that I do. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm pumped. I hope you're pumped. So let's get started. So these are some of the tools that I use, or actually all the tools that I use to make my pour over. And I'm gonna go through them like one by one real quick, where I got them and like what I use them for. So the very first thing the very first tool that I bought for pour overs is this Dandy electric kettle. And you can see the price tag. I actually got that for like 75 cents at Goodwill. I don't know why I bought it. I just bought it because I thought it was cool. And this, I know there's so many different ways to heat up water, but this, I just put water in it, plug it in, heats the water up, and like it's not accurate. Like 212 is boiling, so I'll wait like 20 seconds before I start pouring. So it'll let it cool down a couple degrees. I know that how I was taught to, like for pour overs, is to pour at 210 degrees, and that's like optimal brewing temperature. But it's all different, it's all good. And I mean, I kind of pan to this thing, and that is actually my gooseneck kettle. It is a gooseneck, but there's no flow restrictor. I actually got it out of my dad's pole barn, which he got out of the trash at his work because they just threw it out, which is now benefiting me. I'm really pumped about it. And that came, I don't know, after I bought my whole setup. And then I bought the scale. This is just this Smart Way Pro Pocket Scale. Super simple to use. I try to be careful with it, with heat and getting water on it. I really should tape it up, but I don't have tape to do that. Oh well. But I like that. I measure my coffee on it, and then I measure how much water I pour onto my coffee with that scale. Super good. It was cheap. It was like $11, I believe. And then that goes to just the Hario V60 dripper. And I'm used to pouring with Colettas. So Hario V60s, what I've learned is that you pour the initial 50 grams of water for the bloom, and then you wait the 40 seconds, depending on the coffee. Sometimes the coffee drips faster, runs faster, and then you pour the rest, which I had to get used to, and it was really weird. I guess that goes to the filters. I think I forgot to pull it out. Here's my little page. I just use the flexible V60 coffee style V60 coffee paper filters. I just read that. Oh wow. You can get the organic, but but that was cheaper, and I'm in college, so I'm really trying to save the money. But those are nice. I'll show you how I like actually fold it, put it in there. It's all good. It's a tip that I learned from YouTube. And then I bought a Hario ceramic coffee mill. And like the V60, the scale, I'm not even pointing down. The scale and the filter and the mill I bought all from Amazon, way cheaper than I bought from I looked at multiple coffee shops, probably like 10 to 20 bucks more expensive for the mill, and there were never any like cheap scales, so I just, I figured it out. It was nice. But this mill is really fun to use, definitely arm workout. There's another attachment, so if you do grind coffee, you can put this on, just twist it on and keep your coffee a little fresh after grinding. But there is an adjustment on this. On this, you take a couple pieces off and you can adjust the coarseness of the grind. But yeah, this is what I use to make a pour over. And now I'm gonna make one. Yeah. So the very first step that I do is to measure out my coffee. And right now, what I've been brewing is Madcap's Summer Solstice. I like it. I'm usually like darker or more chocolatey taste, not too much into the floral. But the testing note says floral, mixed berry, stone fruit, and refreshing. And I don't know, I've acquired a taste for this, and I really do enjoy this coffee compared to some of the other coffees I like. I really enjoy Madcap. I just enjoy pour overs. Just an authentic way to have a cup of coffee, and you just experience, the experience beyond the taste is what really gets me. So back to measuring. So the cap that I showed you for the ceramic mill, did I say that right? Yeah, ceramic. I just use this as a little measuring thing. So I will press tear. I teared it right there, so that like turns on, and it takes a couple seconds to turn on. Oh, because I'm holding it. Numbers are freaking out. But set it down, turned off, put this bad boy on. There's some water on it. Put it off. Put it on. Tear that guy. Put it in my bag. And guess what? I don't know where this came from. Oh, for the mill. This came with the mill, and this helps because I usually brew like a 12-ounce cup, and this is like almost 21 grams. So it's very useful. I don't have to like dilly-dally trying to get the right amount of coffee. And I spilled it, but that's okay. So that was 19.345, and I stick my hand in there. Couple more. And because I don't know, I don't like wasting coffee beans. If I drop them, I'll find them on the ground and throw them in the bag, just because, reduce, reuse, recycle. But there's I'll show you guys. If you guys can see that, it's like, oh, where is it? Like 21.1. So I'll call it good. I usually pour a little more than 12 ounces. I'll usually, instead of pouring 254 grams of water, I usually go up to like 280, just because it like balances out the strongness and it fills my cup up a little more.
So I'm really brewing like a 14-ounce cup of coffee. But yeah, that's my coffee is measured. Now I'm gonna grind it. I'll like time lapse something. I don't know. Do something artsy, but grind it time. So now that I got the coffee beans grinded into my mill, look at that, nice and fresh. The summer solstice actually requires a little more fine grind. I take notes, and my notes said, I believe it's a medium fine grind. And with the Hario V60, the best brewing is to pour for 12 ounce is to shoot for a time between 2 minutes and 30 seconds and 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And this grind has hit that every single time that I've poured. And it's also tasted really, really yummy. Not bitter, not too strong. And I mean, it is a strong cup of coffee, but just perfect. So that's what I shoot for. That's what my boss says to go for. And now since I got this grinded, and when I grind, I usually put water in this and start heating it up just because I don't have to wait for something to heat up when I already poured my coffee. So now is the filter time. The best way that I found from looking on YouTube, because YouTube really helps me, is to fold this crease in just a little bit. So that's what I did, and that helps it to stay open in the V60. I mean, you can be kind of rough with it. So it's like coffee and water, and I just pour straight into my cup. Put the cup on to my scale. Coffee into the dripper. Oh wait, no, you don't do that. I forgot to water it or wet the filter. So I'm just gonna pour it back in here, man, and waste coffee. Oh no. That's why I did the extra 0.1. So I don't think I'm wasting too much. And why you wet the filters if you're not familiar with pour overs is there is a little paper residue on the filter, and by rinsing the filter it takes away that flaw. So my water's like boiled, so I'm kind of behind schedule, but let's get going. I'm gonna just unplug this because the plug is super short. Quickly rinse that. I mean, you can like be super detailed and try to get around everything. As you can see, there's coffee grounds in there, but whatever. If you want, like, if you're a perfectionist, and I definitely advise you to try really hard on your coffee to be a perfectionist. But in this circumstance, I have some stuff to do today, and I just want to get it done. And I don't really care because it always tastes good because my palate isn't the best. But water's cooled down, paper is wetted. Now let us get the water out of this. The water's out. Put that on there. Put the coffee in. I know some people like to put their thumb right in the middle. I don't know why. Just because it extracts the coffee better. I haven't really noticed anything, but now that I have the coffee into the wetted filter, I just press tear. Now everything is at 0, and I'm gonna pour water into this, and I found out how much water, like, I know where to pour, how much to pour in this. So it'll either be like exactly enough. I pour more because it helps me have a steadier hand. And now the water is pretty cool, like it's around, I'm guessing like 205 degrees. So some people pour at 202, some people pour at 2010, but I'm just gonna pour right now. So, and thankfully there's a timer on my phone recording, and I am gonna start the bloom. And as you can tell, because there's no flow restrictor, it's kind of hard, but I'm getting used to it. It's fun, it's unique, and you poured a, oh, I blew on it. Poured a, what the frick, man? Oh, that was so jacked up. I don't know if you guys saw, but my gust of wind blew this flap down. But as you guys can see, you pour the 50 grams of water. I always go over because I'm not the best. And you use your eye. The water already went through the grounds pretty fast, so I'm gonna pour the rest to probably like 265. The ratio from coffee to water, I've heard, was like 1 to 17. 1 gram of coffee to 17 grams of water, all the way up to 1 gram of coffee to like 20 grams of water. So, you know, it like, if you're in that ratio, you're fine. And I just hit 266.2 grams. Show you again. Boing, if you saw that. And now that is brewing. I'm gonna take my spoon. This is another tip. Just kind of helps the coffee extract. And I go around 3-4 times. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a lot of fun. That was nerve-wracking. But yeah, I'm really pumped for my cup of coffee coming up. I usually take notes. I think I said that earlier. But I take notes all the way up to the point where I reach the right brew time and grind setting and all that. And after that, like if I still have a bag of coffee and I'm still using it, I really won't take any notes unless something changes drastically, which I'm assuming that something like I'm gonna have to start taking notes on this bag of coffee because I've had it for a couple months and it's been exposed to air for a couple months. But I will show you if the camera will flip. This is going down, pouring good. I think it's around 2 minutes and 20 seconds, about to be 2 minutes 30 seconds. So that is pretty much perfect. As you can see, because I swirled while pouring in a circular motion creates kind of this divot, plus swirling with a spoon. I hope I was pointing at that. Swirling with a spoon really helps the coffee extract. So yeah, this is my coffee. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna stop looking at the screen. And I hope you enjoyed that coffee making with Charlie. As you can see, I am not a pro at all. I'm learning so much by myself. I'm watching YouTube channel or different YouTube videos, asking my bosses, reading magazines, and that's just how you do it. Like, you're not gonna go into coffee being an expert. You're going into coffee creating a passion for coffee, and that's the unique thing about it. So thank you so much if you watched. Thank you. This was so much fun. I will try to do more of these. Hopefully I'll get I'm gonna try 1 a week. That's the goal, just to start out, because I have a lot on my plate. But I want to get to know you guys, and I hope you guys want to get to know me.
Yeah. And thank you. So, have a nice day.